Are you thinking about going to design school to become a designer? Let me give you my thoughts, why that might be a great idea and why not. Hi friends, I'm Nikolai, an industrial design student based in Germany, right now filming in Taiwan on an exchange semester. On this channel, I share my journey and lessons learned to help yours. So, should you go to design university? As a design student myself, obviously I have an opinion on that. And from my own experience and that of others, I can say that for many, design university is the right choice. But for many, it's also not. So in the end, I will touch on some alternatives that might be good for you if you notice that university might not be a good fit. In short, I believe that if you are the kind of person that has a hard time to study on their own, also you know that you really want to pursue this field and you have access to affordable education, if not free, I can almost recommend design university without any caveat. If not, let's go over why it might not be the best option for you then. Tuition fees are obviously a big con of design university. Especially when going to very prestigious private universities, the tuition fee might be enormous and sometimes not even at all balanced with the kind of salary you can expect in your work life. You might put a big financial burden on yourself, and especially if you don't know if you want to pursue this field for real, it's not a good thing to do. And even if you do know that you want to pursue this field, it's a lot. So really think about this. Is it really possible to afford this university? Are there any kind of ways like scholarships that might pay for it? Studying abroad for a lesser tuition fee, or studying at a less expensive institution, like a public school? Because even though they get a bad rap compared to some of those prestigious ones, I've heard that, for example, in the US, some of them are really good. So inform yourself about that, and it might be super worth it. Outdated education is another big problem, because a lot of the time the teachers are not really in the industry anymore. A lot of them maybe partially are, or not at all, and do the same course for the last 10 years. And the industry might have moved on so far by now. So yeah, learning outdated processes or techniques are a very big danger in design education in universities. With the previous point, I'd also come that the skills you learn might not be relevant for the job market, and you might not be able to get a job with the skills you learned in university. Maybe they are outdated. Maybe your university had a different focus. Maybe a focus on skills and industries that are not in your region. There are so many things you should think about and find out by talking maybe to alumni of that university or current students. In a previous point, I talked about professors and teachers maybe you're using material for decades or so. And that might have something to do with them becoming complacent over time. Obviously, that is not the case for every professor and at every university. But I heard from some students that there really are those professors that are not motivated anymore. That might also lead to them not being motivated to give you that education you need, and you having to fight for everything you want and do it on your own. So yes, that's another danger. Keep that in mind. You might have no entry into the industry. You're thinking about how that could be. Don't those professors and teachers work in the industry? Also, don't you do projects with companies or corporations? Don't you do internships? Yes, you definitely do at many universities. But I also heard about many universities where it is less like that are much more artsy in nature, much more theoretical, maybe with not that big of an industry focus. They might not have those projects where you need companies, where you learn to work with them. Also, you might not have access to those internships or opportunities, and the entry your professors could give you to the industry might not be the right industry for you. So yeah, think about that. Despite all of that, how can I still sit here and say that I think for many people it really is the best thing if they want to get into design to go to design university? That is because of all of the positives. Especially in industrial design, design university gives you the kind of access and immersion into this new world that is really hard to get otherwise. Some areas of design are really hidden, and at design university you will get access to all of the tools and resources you need to explore it. A big part of industrial design is model making. I always created stuff, but not in a workshop. Honestly, I never had access to one, and it was completely mind-blowing to be in school and in the first week to learn all of those new tools and things to use. A whole new world opened up, and in the beginning I was really afraid, to be honest. to injure myself or something. But after that week, I had the confidence to create all the models, and it was amazing. Also, in university, you are fully immersed with all those people around you studying the same, with all of those professors talking about the same, the facilities, the books, where you spend your time is amazing. The second thing, structured learning. Of course, you can basically find all the information you need for free on YouTube or somewhere else. But that's sometimes really hard to find, also in the right quality and in the right structure. What I mean by that is, in university, you have a structured program that helps you to step by step develop and grow your skills. It is extremely helpful. Also, with always having a person to speak to about this, as well as having access to the right tools for the things you need most of the time. If it's hard for you to motivate yourself and learn completely on your own, university is also a good thing, because there are fellow students around you. There might be some friendly competition going on. You want to make the better model or render than your friend. And also, there's some kind of social pressure, because you don't want to be the person that didn't do anything for the review, for example. If you are on your own, it's easy to cut you some slack sometimes. And networking. Networking, we all know it's important, but at university, you're surrounded with basically just people that are in the industry, were in the industry, or will be in the industry. So it's an amazing place to find contacts in the industry. Or, that sounds a little bit clinical, you just make friends. Many of the friends you study with will later on maybe work with you. The industry is not so big. And something I really treasure, university gives you the room and time to grow and also develop yourself, and also gives you many opportunities like exchanges. University gives you the time and space to explore your own identity as a designer and find your own direction. These are some of the reasons why I believe it's a good idea to go to design school if you want to become an industrial designer, for example. But as we talked about in the beginning, for many people it's maybe not. So, what might be alternatives? Like I said previously, if cost is the biggest obstacle for you, maybe try to figure out if it's possible for you to study abroad more affordably, or go to a community college if it's much cheaper. If those also are not an option, for many design fields, there are very good online universities and online degrees or courses you can take. I personally feel like for industrial design, it's a bit more complicated than, for example, for digital illustration or UI design and those kind of things, because it's not entirely digital and you need some physicality to it. So when learning from online courses or completely self-manage your education, you need to get access to some kind of workshop. In many places there are maker spaces where you can access 3D printers and lasers, for example. Or maybe you have someone in your community to give you access to their workshop. Tell me if that topic of self-taught design is interesting to you. And with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. There are more like it on my channel. See you next time.